Hello, I'm Lisa Bowerman and I play Bernie Summerfield, and welcome to Audioheads podcast. And yeah.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Geeks Assembled, and we are gathered here for Audioheads. We are here to drink your blood with Dracula, performed by Big Finish, and with these fabulous Fantastic Four cast members. Let us endeavor to review said audio. Please give your attention to Lee Wilson. What did you think of Dracula?
It was bloody marvellous. See what I did there? But I enjoyed it. I really did. It was a close adaptation to the book. There were certain things what they left out, but hey-ho, I mean, it was 3 hours long. I just loved the portrayal of everybody in this. As before we started the cast, I was saying my favourite characterisation in any Dracula movie, play or anything is Renfield. The lunatic Renfield for me is a brilliant character, played brilliantly by Ian Hallard. This one, though, where he asked me, where they asked the asylum things, he said, next time when you come, can you bring me a cat? Yeah, that was to me. He just, wanted to eat a cat. That was brilliant. But as for Mark Gatiss as Dracula, he did a pretty damn good job there. I really did enjoy it. It drew me in. I loved every minute of this. The soundscape was brilliant, the eeriness of it, and also as well, it's told from the sort of diary entries of certain different people. And as everybody knows, narration for me is not a big thing, but it works in this, and I can't fault this. I'm giving this a big fat 10.
Thank you so much, Lee. A 10 out of 10. Beef Dad, what do you think about Dracula?
Well, to my recollection, the early part of the story is all told from Jonathan Harker's diary anyway. And Joseph Kloska did a brilliant job of Jonathan Harker. He really did do a very good job. Deirdre Mullins as Mina it was a good workmanlike performance. That Nigel Betts playing Abraham Van Helsing was superb. He really was just so good. He had you totally convinced. Then you got Rupert Young playing John Seward, Alex Jordan playing Arthur Holmwood, and Quincy Morris played by David Menken. And those three, I've always considered them the three musketeers of the story. Excellent job from all of them. Rosanna Miles as Lucy. Yeah, there's not much you can say about Lucy Westenra in Dracula. It's a bit sad that they cut out, I think, for me, one of the eeriest parts of it, where she actually has been out on the prowl, as it were, and attacking small children. And so the police are looking for this Blue-fur lady, as she's called in the book. Elizabeth Morton as Mary Westenra playing the mother of Lucy. Actually, what they did was they squeezed in a couple of parts into one there, because she also had some of the maid stuff when it came to clearing all the garlic out of the room, which was originally done by the maid, as I recall. As you say, Ian Hallard as Renfield was brilliant. Yeah, it's a part that you can, if you'll pardon the expression, get your teeth into. Superb stuff. Edward Petherbridge, Mr. Swales. Mr. Swales is Mr. Swales. He's really neither here nor there. He's a little bit that knots a certain point together. And the wonderful Katie Manning playing Sister Agatha in the convent. That was a bit of an unexpected surprise for me. Loved it, loved her performance. She's so convincing as an elderly nun. She's just so brilliant. The pacing was brilliant. The actual writing adaptation, absolutely superb. Really, really very cleverly done. Yeah, I'm with Lee on this. It gets a big solid 10 out of 10 for me.
Thank you, Beef Dad. A 10 out of 10 for him too. And our very own Quincy from Texas. Tim, please tell us what you think.
Well, I've never read the book. I've only been aware of Dracula throughout the various different films over the years that I've seen. And of course, it is a very important book. It pretty much sets up the rules of vampires regarding, crucifixes, garlic, and all that other fun stuff. But it's very good. This is a good production. As usual, it's very well made with the best actors available and the best sound design, and it really is odd. Well, it's not oddly structured. It's structured very well because it's almost like an epistolary novel, because you get all these different viewpoints coming in with different bits of narration and just a few scenes thrown in. Then as it goes on, you get more and more scenes thrown in, like live action scenes. It starts to come together very well. I would say though the ending, the denouement, was a bit quick and over. I don't know, after all that build-up. I don't know if that's the fault of it being audio and it's all in your head, no visuals, or just because maybe after 3 hours and 10 minutes or so, you expected a bit bigger bang, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not saying it was bad at all. It was very good. The performances throughout really good. I was impressed with Gatiss because I wasn't expecting much, but he's an old school horror fan, and he did a good job with it. And I have to go to the window.
Well, that's true. I really enjoyed Mark Gatiss as Dracula. I like his interpretation of the vocalisms of his manner. I love how they included him feeding a child to his three concubines, not calling them his brides, because Mina becomes his bride. Mina is amazing. I've been a fan of Dracula. I especially like the 1979 version with Frank Langella, but this is, and Sylvester McCoy, of course, as his his lackey. All right, our Quincy's back. So could you finish what you were saying?
Oh, it's just Kathy. She won't leave me alone. It was very enjoyable. I mean, it didn't drag at all. I think I'm gonna have to agree with everybody and just give it a 10 because I couldn't find any fault with it, and any faults that I thought might be faults might just be ingrained in the story. I'm not familiar with the complete story as it was. I was surprised about the third suitor that I don't think is in the films. I'm not sure. That's what they said in some of the extras. I was surprised there was a Texan in there. So it was an enjoyable experience. So I'll give it a 10 as well.
All right, another 10. Well, it's rich to me too. I really thought that really thought that the soundscapes were incredible. I loved the eeriness of his castle in Transylvania. I loved the crossing the countries by ship, by boat, by ship, by train, by horses. There have been much longer, more drawn out final scenes in the film genres and in the television genres, like even Scooby-Doo versus Dracula. Like it's always the long drawn out thing, and then unmasking Dracula or whatever and stuff. And then there's Scooby Snacks in that one. But in this, I mean, it was so cool, like that they finish on the killing of the vampire, and then they actually go in and tell the final stories of all the people, much like a credit roll. It was cool. And the thing that I really resonated with Mina Harker, she starts off fairly, just adopted by Lucy and the three suitors, and is kind of nervous about her relationship with Jonathan. And then as she goes, when she becomes like the most powerful woman, she chases him all the way to Romania, and then marries him, and and then becomes sort of the center point. And that's also really cool, is like this woman's journey of power and finally to undead power too. That's kind of cool. And so I will give the whole thing a 10, and open the floor or open the castle doors to all the rest of you.
As I recall from the book, the ending is also quite abrupt. That is, it's basically your story finishes when Dracula's killed. Anything extra after that, apart from what Van Helsing says to Mina, I think is extra for the big finish CD.
It struck me too. I kind of agree with what Sue was just saying as well, that this does become kind of Mina's story by the end of it, because it tends to be kind of all about what she has to go through. Because I mean, it starts out with her fiance, and we get a big section with him. And once she's introduced, it tends to move on throughout her journey through the story. And I thought that was pretty cool. It's not something I was expecting, because I didn't know that it was really that much of a so-called love story. But they did a good job of making that happen.
Oh yeah, I think.
I particularly like the part in this where the passage from Transylvania to the UK on the ship, the captain and the crew and all that was just, you could just see that in your mind's eye when it was all happening for the soundscape. That was just brilliant. And I did feel sorry for her. How many blood transfusions did she have? Was it? Well, quick, another blood transfusion. A different person every time. Could have been good for her.
No, they didn't take a lot of notice of blood groups at that time.
No. And I did particularly like the part where Van Helsing did lose his rag when he found out that the garlic had been removed out of the room.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. I love that.
Yeah,
Very well acted.
The performances in this were very good. I didn't see anybody letting the team down at all. I mean, I thought it was very, very well done. And most of these actors I didn't know. I did think it was good too. And they mentioned this in the extras that even though the character of Dracula isn't there throughout, his presence is felt throughout the story. They did a good job with that because, you know, there'll be 15, 20 minutes sometimes when he's not having a scene. And he is the villain, and you don't always have to have him in the scene for his presence to be felt. You know what I mean? They did a good job with that.
Mm.
Yep.
A good villain always works from out of the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything anybody else wants to add to this? I
would say that I think Big Finish really needs to do more of things like this. They've excelled in the ones we've listened to. There's several we haven't, but they really do a good job at adapting classics for audio, and the more the better. You know, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like the just what I just heard in our pre-cast discussion was that there was the guy who played Renfield was the guy who is Mark Gatiss's husband. So I really do ship now Renfield and Renfield and Dracula in a real way. It's all right, sorry, but it's funny anyway.
Not really.
Yeah, I would really like to hear Lisa Bowerman do one of these. I would like to get one of the real historical ones with Lisa Bowerman, because I have a feeling that a historical classic and Lisa Bowerman would be an absolutely magical combination.
Historical classic.
She is very good. She is very good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know that was her in Jago and Lightfoot, the voice she puts on.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. But I would just love to hear her doing a classic.
Would you guys like to do a Jago and Lightfoot?
Nell Gwyn. Still up.
Would you guys like to do a Jago and Lightfoot next?
I bet.
All right.
I'm easy, but we won't talk about that.
Oh. Well, thanks guys for coming. Please like, subscribe, and give us a comment if you're a vampire fan, if you like the genre, which version of Dracula you like the best, and please come back in a fortnight for another Audioheads on Geeks Assembled. Thank you. Bye-bye.